Hey guys, it's Matt and it's time for your studio update today. What I'm starting work on today is our Rivendell set. Now let me give you a little bit of a project rundown on what the Rivendell set is all about. It's for a high elf army. It's going to be themed in the fall, and the architecture and overall look is going to be off of Lord of the Rings Rivendell, particularly Fellowship of the Ring. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pieces I've already built, and then I'm going to tell you about the rest of the set after I show you those. Okay, so what we have here thus far is just some rocky outcroppings that are going to go with the set. These are pretty simple pieces. What the thing that's going to really make this set come together is going to be the fact that it's going to be an autumn. One of the things we're doing is we're using this autumn flock that I've gotten. It's going to be a combination of this yellow and orange coarse turf, which I'm actually going to be experimenting with as well, because they don't actually make a fine turf with this, and I'm going to experiment with making a fine turf from this stuff. So that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But one of the things I'm also working on is this hill. This hill is one of two hills that's going to be in the set. And one of the things that I really didn't want to do with this set is just make two basic looking hills. I'm more of a fan of making hills that actually speak a narrative as well, not just looking like, you know, oh, it's a big elevated area. So what you have here is sort of like this little shrine to the white lions, the hunters, I believe. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're the warriors that protect the Phoenix King, so they have to go out and they have to kill a white lion. So I imagine this is sort of like a place that they come sometimes. Also, one of the things that I'm going to do, they're not glued in yet, they're just kind of placed right now because I'm going to want to glue them in after it's been flocked and painted and everything, are these autumn looking trees. Now, these trees actually don't come this way. What you have to do is, these are notch trees, you can get them from Scenic Express. Really affordable if you get their 24, 25 pack kits. It's less than 30 bucks, I think, for a ton of them. And what you want to do is when you get these, you want to dust them with a spray of sort of an orangish, yellowish color, and just kind of, you know, dust them, get the right consistency. And then you can get this sort of a red autumn color as well, doing the same thing but with like a cranberry red of sorts. So what's going to happen is we want this hill to have like the same autumn tie-in as those over there, but it doesn't make sense for it to have a bunch of autumn leaves if it doesn't have trees. So I'm going to have a couple of trees that are just going to be glued to the hill. Same thing with the other hills. I'm also thinking that these rocky outcroppings, on some of them I'm going to do something like this, you know, where I have sort of a tree growing out of the center of it. So that way you have a reason for all the autumn foliage to be everywhere. So other pieces that are going to be in this set that I have yet to build, we're going to have a huge wizard's tower that's going to be based on the architecture of Rivendell. We're going to have a building that is based off of the Games Workshop, what is it, well, let's look at the actual client entry real quick. I can't remember what it is called, but it's one of the old kits that they don't make anymore. Oh, it's based off of the Manor set, the old GW Empire Manor. I'm building one that's based off of Rivendell's architecture. It's also going to have a set of walls that go around it that's going to have like elevated balconies and all sorts of stuff like that, because the client is going to be playing both Warhammer Fantasy and Middenheim and Malifaux and various other games that are going to require you to get up on elevated areas. We're also going to do a bunch of forest flats for this, and if you've seen the end of Fellowship of the Ring, there are the two kings that face each other on the river. They're like on either side of cliffs, carved into the cliffs. I'm going to be doing a really cool piece that's going to have two high elf warriors doing the same thing between a waterfall. So you'll have like a little pool up at the top, and then it'll pull down into another pool, a little waterfall pool, with the two elven warriors facing each other. Going to kind of sculpt those by hand out of the foam, and that'll be kind of interesting. So yep, I've just been doing a lot of the preliminary reading and designing tonight. Reading up on the High Elves, making sure I have all of my fluff correct, and then going through and getting all the basic thematic conceptual work done. That's something that's really important when you're building a terrain set that a lot of people don't think about. They just think, well, I'm just going to build some stuff and then I'm going to throw it on the table. And that doesn't always work. What you want to do is when you want to build a table with a particular theme in mind, you want to pinpoint what are going to be the important aspects of it. So in this case, the season is probably the most important aspect from a color standpoint. So there's going to be a lot of focus on that. From an architectural standpoint, playing to the Lord of the Rings Rivendell feel is going to excuse me, I need to get a drink of water apparently. The Rivendell feel is going to be very important to the architectural standpoint of the actual buildings. So keeping those two things in mind as I'm going through the set is going to help shape the set quite a bit. And I'm going to be doing a lot of updates on this set throughout the next week as I assemble it. So that's your studio update for the day. Not a whole lot to show off, but that's because we're just getting the preliminary stuff started. So anyway, stay tuned for more content, and I'll also be getting that battle report with J-Ro up sometime towards the middle of the week, I think. Unfortunately, we ran out of time before he had to go, and he had a family trip that he had to take this weekend, so we won't be back till Tuesday. So we're going to film that then, and then I'll hopefully have it processed Tuesday night and up by Wednesday afternoon. Thursday at the latest, I imagine. So anyway, take care and stay tuned for more content.